Always. Listen, love to just start off on, we just said it, I think it's 129,000 roughly. Coin, average price of 30,700. Spent about $4 billion on it. One would anticipate if the price stays where it is, that's going to cause a significant write-down overall. At least your auditors may ask for that. You know, you've talked for years about the financial flexibility owning all that Bitcoin gives you. I wonder if you believe it also works in reverse.
No, I think it's been a net positive. We back-tested our strategy against every other alternative. And if you roll the clock back to August 10th of 2020 when we embarked on this journey, Bitcoin's performed 10x better than anything else. Gold's down 10%, NASDAQ is flat, Bitcoin is up 86% since that time. Over any time frame, 2 years, 4 years, 8 years, Bitcoin's the best performing asset. I can't come up with a better idea.
You can't come up with a better idea. Does that mean that you would actually consider buying more at these prices?
Yeah, I think if you think about Bitcoin, if your time horizon is 1 month, it looks like a volatile risk asset. But if your time horizon is 10 years, it looks like a risk-off store of value asset. So the crossover point is 4 years. Nobody's ever lost money investing in Bitcoin for 4 years. And if you want a surrogate for the book value of the Bitcoin network, it would be the 4-year simple moving average. The simple moving average of Bitcoin over 4 years is about $21,685. Bitcoin's only touched that point a couple of times in its history, and those have always been great buying opportunities. Right, this is Bitcoin's on sale.
We're touching that. We're touching that price right now. It's funny you should mention it. So, is it a great buying opportunity?
Absolutely. Bitcoin's backed by the most powerful secure computer network in the world. If I gave you $100 billion, you can't reproduce it. And it's beyond a nation state attack or corporate attack. So once you understand that and the fact that it's a singularity, there's nothing like it in the world, then yeah, this is an ideal entry point to get into this thing.
All right, but you've also taken on debt in order to actually accrue that position, which does incur a certain amount of risk, doesn't it? I mean, I know, you've got, 6 and a 1.25 senior notes. They're, 2028. You've also got maturities that are out there, but there's concern in the market about margin calls, about collateral calls, certainly on some of this debt. Can you clarify for us exactly what those are under the covenants that you currently have and how they may impede your financial flexibility?
Yeah, sure. On a multi-billion-dollar balance sheet, we've only got a $200 million loan that we have to collateralize, and we're 10x over-collateralized on that right now. If the market traded down by a factor of 10, we've got cash and we generate cash flow. So this has all been, the margin call thing has much ado about nothing. It's just made me Twitter famous, so I appreciate that. And the Twitter trolls love to beat up on me because it gets them engagement. As for the company's balance sheet strategy in general, we borrowed $2.2 billion at a blended interest rate of 1.8% before interest rates doubled. Junk bond index is from 426 basis points to 820 basis points. Mortgage rates have doubled. If you had a chance to grab $2 billion at 1.5% interest, it seems like a reasonable thing to do, and I'm glad we did it. Most of it is unsecured debt. 1.7 billion of it is unsecured. The 500 million comes due in 7 years after we borrowed the money. So we feel like we have a fortress balance sheet. We're comfortable, and the margin loan is well managed.
So here's how much $1,000 in Bitcoin will be worth if Cathie Wood's Bitcoin prediction is correct. ARK Invest, which is led by Cathie Wood, has quickly grown into one of the largest asset managers in the world since launching in 2014, and the firm emphasizes investing in technology, offering a variety of exchange-traded funds centered around innovative firms. Most recently, ARK teamed up with 21 Shares to launch a spot Bitcoin ETF, ARK 21 Shares Bitcoin ETF, and this ETF has performed extremely well, attracting more than $3 billion in assets under management in less than 3 months. With that kind of success, Cathie Wood's opinion on Bitcoin has received a lot of attention. She also noted that Bitcoin could go as high as $3.8 million. With this institutional green light that the SEC has provided, kicking and screaming though it did, the analysis we have done is that if institutional investors were to allocate a little more than 5% of their portfolios in Bitcoin, as we think they will over time as Bitcoin becomes more and more mainstream, that alone would add $2.3 million to the projection on Bitcoin that I just gave you is what Cathie Wood said. Cathie Wood's previous prediction also came in Jan when she stated that Bitcoin could go as high as $1.5 million by 2030, noting that the probability of the bull case has increased with the SEC approval. This is a green light. Cathie Wood's original projection was that Bitcoin could reach $1 million by 2030, which she gave before the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs, and the approval bumped Cathie Wood's projection up to 1.5 million, and the success of the ETFs bumped the prediction even higher to $3.8 million. And in addition to the success of the ETFs, Cathie Wood also sees the upcoming halving event as one of the major potential further price catalysts. The Bitcoin halving, which occurs roughly every 4 years, is expected to happen around April 20th. We're just a week away. The event could lower the amount of Bitcoin miners sell each day, which could send the price of Bitcoin even higher. Cathie Wood's prediction for a $3.8 million Bitcoin by 2030 also likely includes the next halving, which could occur in 2028. And looking at Bitcoin's price history, halving typically precedes higher highs followed by higher lows. So if Bitcoin continues this pattern into 2030, the price could peak around 2029 or 2030, after which happens a small correction. And if Cathie Wood is correct though and Bitcoin reaches $3.8 million, this could be a massive amount which everyone would miss out if you don't invest in Bitcoin. So if you invest $1,000 in Bitcoin now, even now a lot of people think it's too late, but even if you invest $1,000 in Bitcoin today, it could be worth around $54,000 in 2030. This would result in a compounded annual growth rate of nearly 95% over a period of 7 years. While this prediction is extremely bullish and very optimistic, and some might even say it's wishful thinking, but the previous 13-year compounded annual growth rate on Bitcoin is well over 130%, so it's not entirely out of the question. However, as Cathie Wood stated, it will likely require huge amounts of institutional investments and big firms allocating 5% of their funds to their portfolios, which certainly will take time. Cathie Wood just increased her long-term price target for Bitcoin by a mind-boggling amount. Cathie Wood, the head of ARK Investment Management, which operates 14 ETFs, mostly focused on technological innovations which would change the world in some capacity, the companies that likely have a return of 100x. These are mostly the type of companies Cathie Wood likes to place her bets on, but these are also the companies which only 1 out of 100 would succeed. So Cathie Wood's had a rough 2 to 3 years, so to say, but in 2023 she's recovered a lot of money she lost in 2022, and right now ARK Innovation is extremely bullish on the world's largest cryptocurrency, which is Bitcoin, and the firm's official research implies that the coin could deliver a gain of 2000% by 2030. But Cathie Wood herself just came out with a new price target that points to a potential upside of more than 5300%. Even right now, Bitcoin is trading near its all-time high, and investors are as enthusiastic about its prospects as ever. But is Cathie Wood's forecast realistic? One of the main reasons Cathie Wood's prediction might come true is Bitcoin is often discussed as a replacement for traditional money and currency. It is not governed by any person or institution, so sky is the limit for as high as Bitcoin can go, and the blockchain upon which it is built is an accurate and transparent system of record, but its price is incredibly volatile. Bitcoin lost almost 65% of its value in 2022, and since it has gained around 325% from its low point that year. So will people be willing to bet on something which is so highly volatile that it can crumble down 65% of its value in 1 year, then stay stable for another year, and then suddenly go up 325% in a year? As a result, it's too unpredictable to become a means of exchange for most consumers and businesses. So that's it guys from here today. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and do hit the like button.